Welcome back. Let's start by understanding an important part of financial statement of any company, which is the balance sheet. Now, balance sheet presents a company's current financial position by disclosing the resources the company controls. These resources are called assets. The balance sheet also discloses the company's obligation to its lenders and creditors, and these obligations are known as liabilities. The financial statement also discloses owner's equity, which is essentially the excess of assets over liabilities. Essentially, the balance sheet discloses what an entity owns, what it owes, and what the owner's claims are at a specific point in time. The basic elements of a balance sheet are shown here. First is assets. Now, assets are what a company owns or controls. More specifically, assets are resources controlled by the company as a result of past events. It is expected that future economic benefit to the company will flow from utilization of these assets. Next, you have the liabilities. Liabilities are essentially what a company owes, hence, they represent obligations of a company arising from past events. Settlement of liability results in cash outflow from the entity. Apart from assets and liabilities, you also have equity. Equity represents owner's residual interest in the company's assets after deducting the liabilities. The relationship between assets, liabilities, and owner's equity is governed by the equation shown here, which is essentially assets equal to liabilities plus owner's equity. This equation says that total amounts of assets must equal or balance the combined total amount of liabilities and owner's equity. Another way to see this is that the left side of the equation reflects the resources controlled by the company, which are known as the assets, while the right side of the equation reflects how those resources were financed. So essentially, all these assets were either bought by utilizing the funds from owner's equity or liabilities, or maybe partially both of them. Now, if we rearrange this equation, we get this formula, which is owner's equity is equal to assets minus liabilities. This arrangement emphasizes that equity holders do not have rights to all assets of the company. They in fact only have residual rights to assets after taking care of the liabilities first. In order to briefly understand these, let's look at balance sheet of a hypothetical company which we will call V Group. Now these essentially are the assets. As you can see, the company has shown its 2009 numbers and 2008 numbers. This is a common practice and makes it easy to compare the current numbers with the previous year's numbers. In this case, the 2009 represents the current numbers as per this balance sheet, and the 2008 numbers are the previous year's numbers. Now the total assets are shown as 177 billion euros, which is the sum of non-current assets of 99 billion and current assets of around 78 billion. The liabilities are shown here, and while the total liability figure is not given, we can calculate it by adding non-current liabilities and current liabilities, and this amount of total liabilities is close to 140 billion. We also see that total equity is around 37 billion. So we see that for this balance sheet, the total assets equals total liabilities plus total equity. This of course is a detailed balance sheet, which as you can see has many components. Let's understand the components in greater detail one by one. We'll start by understanding current assets and current liabilities. The first thing to notice is that both on the asset side and the liability side, there are both current and non-current items. The question naturally comes, how do you classify assets as current or non-current? The answer is simple. All items held primarily for purpose of trading, or those items that are expected to be sold, used up, or otherwise realized in cash within one operating cycle are classified as current item. Now we use the term operating cycle. Now a company's operating cycle is the average amount of time that elapses between acquiring inventory and collecting the cash from sales of finished goods to customers. For a manufacturer, operating cycle is the average amount of time between acquiring raw materials and converting them into cash by sale of goods. Now current assets are maintained for operating purposes. These assets include cash or items expected to be converted to cash like trade receivables or account receivables, or assets expected to be used up like office supplies and prepaid expenses. Alternatively, the current asset may be inventory that is expected to be sold in the current period. Similarly, current liabilities are liabilities expected to be settled within 1 year or within one operating cycle of the business. For the purpose of classifying a liability as current liability, it should meet certain criteria. Now this criteria is shown here. Firstly, a liability can be classified as current liability only if it is expected to be settled in the entity's normal operating cycle. Also, the current liability can be classified as current if it is held primarily for purpose of being traded. Also, if the liability is due to be settled within 1 year after the balance sheet date, then it forms part of a current liability. Also, if a liability is a current liability, the entity should not have an unconditional right to defer its settlement by more than 1 year. Now let's look at the common classifications under current assets. First of these is cash and cash equivalents. Now here cash equivalents are highly liquid, short-term investments that are close to maturity. These are essentially financial assets which are reported at fair value. Then you have marketable securities, which are also financial assets, and they include investments in debt or equity securities that are traded in a public market. Their price is determined from price information in the public market. Examples of marketable securities include treasury bills, bonds, equity securities, and mutual funds. Another commonly found current asset is trade receivables, also known as accounts receivable. These are amounts owed to a company by its customers for products and services which have already been delivered. Another commonly found current asset is inventories. Inventories are physical products that will be eventually sold to the customers either in their current form as finished goods, or inventories may be raw material kept as an input to be converted into finished goods. Apart from this, you may have some other current assets which may not be individually material enough to require a separate line item on the balance sheet. So all these current assets are aggregated into a single account. Apart from this, in case of V Group, we see some more items listed under current assets. The details of such items are usually found in notes to account section of the financial statement, but their nature would be similar to the different types of current asset we have discussed. Similarly, we have common classifications under current liabilities. The first of these is trade payables, also known as account payables. Trade payables or account payables are amounts the company owes its vendors for purchase of goods and services. So any goods or services which have been purchased but their payments have not been made, they would be classified as current liabilities under trade payables or account payables head. Now these essentially represent the unpaid amount for goods and services taken on credit from the vendors. Another current liability is notes payables, which are financial liabilities owed by a company to creditors, including trade creditors and banks, through a formal loan agreement. If any of these arrangements are due within 1 year, then they come under the head notes payables. Another current liability is tax payable, which reflects taxes based on taxable income that have not yet been paid. Similarly, you might have a range of current liabilities that you may find on different balance sheets. Now you can often read the notes to account section of the financial statement to understand what payments due they represent. Now in the next video, we'll look at some other components of the balance sheet, starting with the non-current assets and the non-current liabilities.